Guys, welcome to class. So now we want to learn how to take accurate measurement for our trousers. Some people, when they make trouser, this place it will be puffy, no matter how, like, it will be puffy, or it will be tight, or the leg of the trouser will jump up, it will be squeezing at the flap area. So now in this class we are going to learn how to take accurate measurement for our trousers. I'm trying to do this basic measurement class so that when I start uploading standard tutorial on drafting, you guys can refer back to the measurement, because like I said, the how your design will turn out depends on what you measured, because it is what you measured you used to draft and you used to sew. So if you measure rubbish, my dear, it is my joy to tell you that if you measure rubbish, you will sew rubbish. So now, in order for us not to sew rubbish, we are going to learn how we are going to draft trouser. I've put my mannequin is still here and she's still wearing clothes. If you watch the last video, you understand. I don't want to naked mannequin. So I've tied the rope. This is very important. So I've tied the rope on mannequin. Funny enough, trouser is one of the sweetest measurement to take when it comes to sewing. I enjoy making trousers because it's very easy. Once you know how to take the measurement, you draft it, they are good to go. So let's start. In order to take our measurement to our trouser, I've tied this on the waist of our trouser. So you go ahead to tie it on the client of your client's waist measurement. This is for trouser. So now the first thing you want to take is your waist to hip. That means the distance between your waist to hip. So if you are with your client, you can tell your client, maybe for those that is not too polarized, you can tell your client to stand like this. By the time they stand like this, you will notice that their hip will protrude out. Do you understand? So by the time you tell your client that, please ma, can you stand like this, their hips will protrude out, so you'll be able to take the hip measurement. So from here now, I'm going to take it from this bias there. You measure it. This is your waist to hip. So you measure it to where your hip protrude out, the hip curve. So for this, it is 9 inches. Can you see it? It is 9 inches. So that is your waist to hip. So you are going to measure your hip measurement. This is for trouser. So when I say hip to waist, the waist to hip, that is what I mean. Then you measure your waist measurement. This is 25. Then you measure from your waist now. You measure it down to the floor. Nowadays, please let your trouser flow. It doesn't have to be those short, no, let it flow. So you measure it down. You measure it down, let it flow. Then you measure the knee measurement. From the waist, measure the knee. For this mannequin, her knee is 23. Then her full length, I made it flow like it's flowing. This is 47 and a half. Can you see it? So you measure your hips to your waist to your hip, which is, it is usually called waist to hip or hip curve. You measure your full length. You measure your knee length. Then you measure your knee circumference. Depends on how wide you want it to be. If you want it to be tight, if you want it to be big, just measure it. Depends on you, and you can ask the client, measure it. Then you measure your ankle. Do you understand? So those are the basic measurements you need in trouser. Now some people, what they do is that if you are measuring for a client, like a client wants to sew trouser, please advise the client that they should wear something fitted when coming for measurement. Preferably, if they can put on trouser or leggings, your trouser will come out amazing. So when they put it on, you measure them. Let it be a tight fitting cloth. If they wear a bulky cloth, for example, someone wants to sew two piece and the person comes and the person is wearing lace, it will affect the final outcome of your clothes. So please tell the client that when the client they are coming for measurements, they should wear something fitted, preferably a trouser or a leggings. And if it is client outside the country, when you guys are scheduling when you measure, please tell the client that when I want to measure you, or when someone to measure you, please, I would like you to wear trouser or something fitted, so it will be easy for me to get your accurate measurements. If you follow all this, then you follow the pattern of how to cut trouser that I will drop on this channel. If you make a trouser and your trouser is still jumping or anything, then I'm not the one that taught you. So please ensure you tell your client to wear something fitted. So let's go over it again. From your waist, measure your hip curve. Then from the waist again, measure your knee, then the full length, let it flow. You measure your hip circumference, you measure your knee circumference, and you measure your ankle. Do you understand? Another way you can get this your waist to knee, waist to hip, is to measure your outer seam minus your inner seam. What I mean is, from your waist like this, if the person is putting on trouser, measure it down to the end of the trouser. From this place, from this waist, measure it to the down to the end of the trouser. You write it down. Then you measure from this place, the crotch, to the down to the trouser. By the time you measure it, if you minus this outer, this is outer seam, if you minus this outer seam from the inner seam, you are going to get the same measurement, assuming you measure from here to here. For example, this is what I mean. I measure from here to here is 9 inches. Maybe I now measure from here to the down part 49. If I measure from here to here, I might get 40. If I minus 49 from 40, it will give me this 9 inches. You can try it on your, maybe you can try it on your friend or yourself. Your inner seam, your outer seam minus your inner seam will give you the crotch depth. So when people online say, how can I calculate the crotch extension? It is important you get this from your waist to your hip curve. Usually called hip curve or waist to hips. By the time I start drafting trousers on this channel, you understand. So this is how to take accurate measurement for trouser. Please, my mantra is don't allow any customer rush you when taking measurement. So if you enjoyed this video, please kindly like, share and subscribe. I love you.